Hello everyone. So this week we're looking at Moses. We've been doing a series on the patriarchs. We've done Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and now it's Moses' turn before we start our autumn and winter series on Hebrews. So Moses' life covers a lot of the Old Testament, particularly the first 5 books, called the Pentateuch. And so I'm focusing in on an episode at the very beginning of his things recorded about his life, which can be found in chapter 3 of Exodus. Now Moses was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. And he led his flock to the west side of the wilderness, and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. He looked, and behold, the bush was burning, yet it was not consumed. And Moses said, I will turn aside to see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. When the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the bush, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. And he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings. Now I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land to a good and a broad place, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And now behold, the cry of the people of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? He said, But I will be with you, and this shall be the sign for you, that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. Then Moses said to God, If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. And God also said to Moses, Say this to the people of Israel, The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus am I to be remembered throughout all generations. So that's quite a famous story, Moses and the burning bush. But something about it which is sometimes overlooked is just how afraid Moses is at this time. And that's something we can all identify with. At this time in Britain and all over the world, there's a lot of fear around. I think the Bible, and particularly this section, has some powerful things to say about fear. So it shows us, this section shows us that God calls us by name. To Moses, he doesn't say, or you there. He says, Moses, Moses. He calls him by name. And we're the same. God calls us by name. He knows our name. He knows our lives. He's interested in us. He wants to use us. We're not just worker drones to him. And this means that we can respond differently to people. We have meaning, we have purpose in a world that can often lose its purpose, to seem meaningless, and where people struggle with a lack of identity or a lack of purpose. We are called by name. God knows our name. The second thing we learn is that God helps us to confront our fears. He gives us signs and wonders. He gives us actual help. If we ask for it, he will give us help to confront our fears. And thirdly, God uses people to help us. Later in the passage, Moses puts forward these reasons to God. He says, I'm not very good at public speaking, I'm not an impressive person. Can't you send someone else? And God doesn't say, you're useless, go away, stop making excuses. He sends Moses' brother Aaron to go with him, to help him. And because God knows that we work best in pairs, or in community, or in groups. We work best with a support, with a helping hand. Throughout the scripture in Genesis it says, it is not good for the man to be alone. In Ecclesiastes it says, two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their work, and where one falls down, the other may help him up. Jesus sent his disciples out in pairs. He sent out the 72 in pairs. We're not meant to walk the journey alone. And so God gives us each other to help each other. So we can ask for that. But it may surprise us who comes alongside us in life. So yeah, this week, think on that passage. Think on what you're afraid of. Pray about it. Ask God to help you confront it. And God bless.